So I've been working with Steve now for, 15 years, something like that. And I first had to hear from the Lord that he wanted me to submit to Steve's vision for the filmmaking. Because we both had our own media companies, and we both had an idea of how we would want to do it. But one of us is the director, and the other one is not. And so I naturally moved into the role of being a producer and support Steve's vision for the film. That has worked really well, especially considering the fact that we're doing a cross-cultural movie. There's already too many pressures on us trying to tell our story cross-culturally than having two chiefs in the kitchen. Part of my role as it's evolved from being producer and a trainer, in particular cast size, locations, and film length. Maybe we would need to pay him $300 or something. And you know what? I met somebody at college, so I'm gonna call him up. And supporting the whole overall technical side of the film is that I'm coming alongside relationally with the staff and with the crew and with the students to help them process some of the things that they're going through. Sometimes one of the problems was that we had a scene change.
I mean, there was a plan once upon a time. We were going to try to get to another location today.
We always have to try to be flexible, but sometimes it's just a mess, and we have to move forward through it toward the end of the day. And that can tend to perhaps run over some people's feelings.
Good morning, Father. Thank you so much for production that's been going so well. Here's a new problem for us today, Lord, with the bus not starting.
Let's go.
And so they need to have an opportunity to be able to say, yeah, I felt that way, and yet I understand why we had to do it that way. So the process goes like this. Steve has his actors ready. He's already blocked them out in terms of where they're going to be and what they're going to say where on the set. And we have everything framed up in the camera, and we're actually ready to make a take.
Camera rolling.
So Steve's going to call a shot, scene, take,
roll sound.
any other important information, and it's going to be visually shown on the screen with a clapperboard. Meanwhile, I'm on set with my workstation. We are making a string of information, the same information that's being shown on the screen on the clapperboard when we ask for the cards from the camera where all of the scene data is being recorded. I ingest that into the computer, back it up onto 2 drives, and we drop that file string onto the correct files. And we keep doing that over and over again. And on this project, we've had nearly 6,000 files that we've had to manage. Fortunately, one of my students who's actually coming on as staff, Elena, has been doing a perfect job because her personality is such that she is very meticulous. And I've just been overseeing while I'm kind of on my deathbed and seeing that she's been doing a great job and just correcting anything along the way. And so now I'm back on set. And the other part of what I do is I kind of am a PA, a personal assistant for Steve. I think this is maybe my 22nd movie with him. So I know what he's like, and I can tell when his blood sugar's low. He's diabetic, so I can tell when, he's starting to get a little edgy and cranky. And
I want you all to know that I was cranky with Jeremy, but that he's just doing his job.
He's not quite his on top of itself. So I'll kind of sidle up to him and say, take these handful of almonds or something like that, and then that'll keep him going until we have lunch break. So yeah, if this was Star Trek, then I would be Dr. McCoy. On top of that, I'm having to edit the movie together for the purpose of being able to get all 90 scenes out on the screen and be able to show it to our audience at a cast party. That input is super valuable. We want to hear in the moment, does, number one, the movie make sense? Does it hit the mark emotionally, and in our heart, in our soul, in our lives? Does it communicate the gospel? And that is why we spend so much time trying to make it work so that we can have that cast party showing.